Hello and welcome back to another episode of Prehistoric Speculation, where today we're going to look at 3 possible ways that the aquatic enclosure system could work. But before we get into that, please like and subscribe. It's free, you can unsubscribe at any time, and it really helps me out, so please do that. And without further ado, let's move on to the video. So, there are 3 ways I think the aquatic system could work. I'll list all 3 ways now and then I'll go through all 3 of them in a bit more detail later. So, the first way I think it could work is that there is going to be an aquatic arena. Maybe there's 3 different sizes for the 3 different sizes of species, but I think one of the ways it could work is you just plop it down, place the aquatic creatures in, and then they'll swim about. The second way I think it could work is it will work in the same way as the aviary system, where it's sort of modular in the fact that you can connect them together to form a bigger aquarium, basically. And in the aviary, you connect aviaries together to make them bigger, and you can make different shapes other than just a dome, which is really nice. And yeah, we'll go into that in a bit more detail as well. The third way I think it could work, but the least likely way I think it will work, would be you place water, and then you can place the creature in this water. Like, say you could create a lake, and then you place the mosasaurus in the lake, and it will live there. Okay, so let's go through the first one in a bit more detail, which was the different sizes. This is sort of like the idea that, like in the first game we had the aviary, which we placed down, and it was one size, and the things were on a loop. We know that's not going to be the case with the aquatic reptiles, but it was one size. The reason I say that is because we've only seen one size of aquarium, basically. We've seen the mosasaurus one, and that would be it would be a disappointing way for it to be implemented, I think. But it is a possible way that it could be implemented, where you just place in the enclosure. It's got the feeder already in it. It's got like all of the stuff it needs. I don't know what else it needs, a filter, something like that. It's got all of that. You place in the creatures like with the different skins and however many of that creature you want, and then they'll exist in that exhibit. Maybe I think if that is the way they implement it, at least hopefully they put in different sizes, so that you can have a smaller size for things like an ichthyosaur, where it doesn't need as much space to move around, and larger exhibits for something like a mosasaur, which in the Jurassic World franchise is massive and would need a huge area of water to swim around in. The second way I think it would work, which would be the most likely way I believe, is that it will work like the aviary system, where the actual area will work in the same way as it's modular, so you'll attach aquariums onto each other and they'll expand, and you can add, say, viewing galleries onto this, and the creatures will swim around happily in this, and you can add feeders of different sizes, because I assume not everything's going to eat a great white shark. That'd be a bit odd for a turtle to eat a great white shark. So you can place different feeders onto it. Maybe different creatures need different temperatures and that sort of thing as well, so you could add those onto it, and all of that sort of stuff. I think this is the way it's going to be implemented, because it's, 1, the way it's already done with the aviary, and 2, I think this would just be the best way to do it in general. That isn't a very popular opinion. The most common opinion I see is that people are most excited for the third option, which I'm going to explain in a bit more detail in a few minutes, where you have full control. But I don't know if that would fully work in the game, because, I don't know, it just doesn't seem right to me that they would be swimming in just a random lake. I feel like it would be like the aviaries. You wouldn't just have them just in a random area. You wouldn't have the aquatics in a random lake sort of thing. So I feel like it would have proper viewing galleries, proper feeding stations, maybe like a mosasaurus, like great white shark feeder we see in the first film, where it jumps out of the water to grab it. That sort of thing. Maybe some like underwater tunnel attractions too could be quite cool to add. And it won't be like set attractions hopefully either, because we do know that they are going to have all of the behaviours of the land creatures, which is very interesting to see. It's going to be nice to see ichthyosaurs or something. Don't know what the creatures are going to be, but maybe ichthyosaurs socialising like dolphins would in the wild, jumping out of the water, that sort of thing. All be very nice to see. Now, the third way I think this could work is the most popular opinion that I have seen, is the idea that you can just, hopefully the water mechanics will be upgraded, allowing you to create waters that are much deeper than you're able to make in the first game. People are saying that if this is a thing that you are able to do, then what you should be able to do is build a giant deep lake, and then hoping the water like volume in that lake is high enough for the creature's requirements, and then placing it in that, placing feeders on the floors like as it needs and all that stuff, placing, I assume there'll be underwater decorations for all of these, hopefully, if any of these are the actual system you end up using. I imagine there'll be, say, kelp and underwater rocks and all that. That's just something I'm assuming for all of this. But what they're thinking is a fully customizable exhibit shape, fully customizable like floor and all that sort of thing. Which I think the floor will be customizable, but I think the shape will be more limited in the fact that they will be modular like the aviary system. Yeah, so I think it'd also be a bit strange because you could create some exhibits in which because like swimming and flying creatures are a relatively new development that Frontier has been able to do. The first time we've seen like full non-modular aquatic creatures, I believe, since since Zoo Tycoon 2, I believe, was in Planet Zoo recently. They added some aquatic creatures such as like a seal and a sea otter sort of thing. So, given that it's relatively new stuff, I think it would make more sense to have it a bit more structured than having like fully customizable exhibits at the moment, because that could lead to some weird stuff occurring in those exhibits. But yeah, so those are the three different options I think will appear. I'll probably put illustrations of them, poor illustrations that'll be, but illustrations of these during editing of this video. But anyway, yeah. Thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Again, please, if you enjoyed this, please consider liking and subscribing. It really does help. If you have your own opinions on how this would work, please leave a comment below just to let me know your opinion, and maybe that'll get its own video in the future. Leave any actual video ideas as well in the comments. And yes, thank you for watching very much. Right, see ya. Bye.